Hello and welcome to another modelling video. This is Alan from the McConnor at YouTube with a second installment on the Salt Mines Garage Kit. This is the largest program where I'll be making my own plastic model kits from a miniature injection moulding machine and specially made moulds designed by myself and most likely injected as well. If you wish to learn the full extent of this project, check out the link down below, Salt Mines GK Injection Molded Model Kits by McConnor. This is also the only series of videos where I'm going to be shilling, talking about merch, fundraising, that sort of stuff. Will not bleed into other content. Through combined efforts of fundraising, selling online, as well as the Salt Mines stall at Model Expo, we have fundraised the full amount to finally purchase the machine. We are behind schedule, however, though hopefully at the end we'll make it on time, if not a couple of months behind. After the June date, the money's been set aside and future money is raised to restock, as well as get other bits and pieces and save money for serious tooling and mold making for the next step in our journey. We did go to a small Wargaming Association meet, as well as a large stall many of you will be aware of at Annamunga, Melbourne. Fantastic news, as of early September, close to 7,000 Australian dollars has been spent, fully funded via the Salt Mines and definitely you guys, to purchase the Model B100 benchtop injection molder. It has arrived this week at home. I'm yet to unbox and investigate. Very next installment will be exploring the machine, setting it up and using the test molds to produce something. It did arrive safely. Unfortunately, worst case scenario, incepted by customs, and it sadly attracted the highest tier imports tax, which has completely wiped out my mold making budget to do some aftermarket parts by December. There will be a countermeasure to re-raise money for that. But the most important factor is the biggest hurdle has been overcome and this machine is finally in my hands. Once we can get the formula worked out for producing castings out of molds for modelling consumption, then we're on the track to be absolutely creative. And in between then and now, sufficient amount of researching, reading up, looking into raw materials, packaging, artwork, as well as the first design of aftermarket parts, being the rivets and nuts for application that's very regular in Gundam 35th modelling, as well as science fiction and scratch building, has definitely been planned, and CAD work is just around the corner for next week. Please excuse the pages and pages of poorly drawn pictures. Gives you an idea of where the vision's going to take to a more polished CAD drawing. The biggest issue now is our early prototype molds before we start committing ourselves to 3D printed or tooled metal molds. The options that others are using online is epoxy molds, either a resin mold made by an SAL 3D printer, which I have an issue with being honeycombed and a very thin membrane that's very easily manipulated by heat. Still new to the process, though I believe the molten plastic is going to be so hot after upthin castings it will form, or people utilizing a very flush cast by sticking it on a sprue in a box and pouring straight out resin to make the mold. This also would have a very limited life. I am thinking more of my personal style approach in the knowledge of materials, heat and wearing out, either committing to wood and engraving, which is earlier research, or now committing to a two-part epoxy that's heat resistant and as hard as wood, creating a mold out of something like milliput or a similar material. This is where the earliest tests are going to go in the way of duplicating an existing part, then creating parts from SLA and sticking it in the mold. As usual, everything is going to be documented here to follow. The machine will be unboxed next week, and further on down the track we'll cover the CAD work as well as documentation of the experimented molds, how I made them, tutorials and all that. As I am absolutely out of budget for mold materials and whatnot, in the link down below on the salt mines, I'm selling some finished work, gunpla as well as garage kits and whatnot. If you're inclined, check them out. Instructions down below. Everything is in Aussie dollar. Can easily convert it for US dollar and provide rates on international shipping. Just shoot us a message and see what you fancy. Thank you very much for your support. Other methods to do so is also down below. Catch you guys next time, and stay tuned for more updates.